Close your eyes for a second. It's the 70s in Ireland. You turn on your radio, expecting the usual RT playlist, and suddenly something unexpected hit your ears. No official station, no scheduled DJ, just rock, pop, disco, and voices that weren't supposed to be on air at all. This is the hidden world of pirate radio, where sacred studio, rooftops, and DIY transmitter brought music to communities from Dublin to Kerry. You are asking yourself probably very important question. Why pirate radio in Ireland existed? In the 70s, Irish radio was limited. RTE ruled airways with a script playlist and little local or alternative music. So people took matters in their own hands. Bedrooms became studios. Shop turned into broadcast hubs. Antennas crawled into rooftops and hills. Communities suddenly had a sacred soundtrack, bringing people together in ways that official radio never could.
Breaking news right now.
Joining us now for more on all of this, White House Press Secretary Kayleigh Knight. Kayleigh, thanks for being here.
Even smaller towns like Tralee, Dingle, and Listowel in County Kerry joined the movement, proving that pirate radio wasn't just a Dublin phenomenon, it was a nation rebellion sound. This is a sample from Capital Radio broadcast from 1978.
Hello, baby.
Stomp and George, 11 till midnight, every Tuesday on Capital.
Yeah, this is the Big Bopper speaking.
Back in the 70s, Tralee Kerry had its own pirate radio scene. Stations like Radio Tralee were unofficial, a bit rebellious, and totally local. They played whatever they wanted music, news, and so on. They gave to the town its own secret soundtrack. Fast forward to the late 90s and early 2000s, and there was Beat FM. The station ran until 2006 and is remembered as one of the last true FM pirate radio station in Ireland. By then, legal local radio was taking over, but Beat FM kept the pirate spirit alive, mixing tunes, community vibes, and a youth energy in a way you couldn't hear anywhere else. When I arrived in Tralee around 2000s at the age of 13, turning into Beat FM was like finding a hidden treasure. It was loud, fun, and full of life, a secret pulse of the town that made grow up in Kerry a little bit more easier and magical. Those stations weren't just illegal broadcasters, they were cultural lifeliners, giving communities music, news, and identity long after most pirates' radios had disappeared elsewhere. Behind the music and so on, stations were DIY marvels. Kitchen became studios. Home transmitters hummed quietly. Antennas climbed chimneys, hills, and church towers. Even small stations like KCR could reach an entire town, and Beat FM, decades later, proved that FM pirate radio still had power to reach listeners across Kerry with modern pop, dance, and hip hop. Every broadcast was a rebellion, every song a victory, every crackle in the static told a story of a risk, creativity, and a passion. Of course, pirate radio was illegal. Raids could happen at any moment. Equipment could be sieged. DJs could be fined. Well, of course, that make it thrilling. Listeners tuned in secrecy, wondering if the signal would survive. And the risk made the music feel alive, dangerous, and unforgettable. In the 80s, pirate radio became too big to ignore. Albert Reinholds, Minister of Communication, stepped in. He launched a radio mount, letting pirate station broadcast legally for a short period, a test to see who could operate professionally. Soon after the Wireless Telegraphy Act of 1988 forced most pirate stations off the air. One hidden gems from the era is the September 1981 issue of a Radio Mont magazine. It listed stations, interviewed DJs like Robbie Robinson, and gave technical tips for building transmitters for carry stations like KLR or KCR. It was a lifeline, connecting them to the wider pirate community in all Ireland. When the crackdown came, the most pirate stations vanished, but their influence didn't. DJ became legends. Communities discover music they couldn't hear anywhere else. Some stations evolved into legal radio. And then there was a Beat FM, the last major FM pirate, which kept the pirate spirit alive until 2006. It proves that even decades after the first pirates, the trail of a secret airwave was still alive and kicking in Kerry. It didn't just play songs, it reshaped the way Ireland listened, connected, and loved the music. If you were turning your radio in Ireland from Dublin to Kerry, which pirate station would you chase on a dial? Let me know in the comments. Discovering pirate radio is like uncovering a hidden soundtrack to Ireland's past, full of rebellion, creativity, and unforgettable moments.